Hello again. I'm sometimes amused to see how scrupulously we in this country handle the question of people barging into our country and settling here on the pretext that their lives are not worth living in their own nations. We call such people asylum seekers and of course take enormous care to examine in detail all such claims and weigh them carefully through the courts. This is a peculiarly white Anglo-Saxon way of approaching the problem, and one which is regarded as utterly ridiculous in most parts of the world, including Africa and the Caribbean. I thought that it might be instructive to see how one or two countries in Africa and the Caribbean deal with the problem of illegal immigrants who try and remain in their countries. Take the Dominican Republic, for instance. Dominica shares the island of Hispaniola with Haiti, and Haitians have traditionally crossed the border into Dominica whenever conditions in their own country become unpleasant. Lately, this has been happening a little too frequently for the taste of those in charge of the Dominican Republic, and so for the last few years they've been rounding up Haitians, or even those who they think look like Haitians, and driving them to the border to be deported. The scale of these deportations is staggering. It is currently running at least 27,000 a month, and in 2022 reached 40,000 a month. In the last year or so, Dominica has deported an estimated 200,000 people from their country and simply dumped them across the border in Haiti. I give one or two links about this policy in the description to this video. There are a couple of interesting points about the business. First, of course, this is a black Caribbean nation dealing with black people. It would be foolish to start talking about racism as people in the West do when the idea of deporting illegal immigrants is mooted. Secondly, you won't have read about this in your newspaper or seen any reports about it on the television news. You may, of course, have heard of the heartless policy of Hungary toward refugees and asylum seekers, and how dreadful it is that a country like that wishes to maintain its national and ethnic identity, but you won't have been told that this feeling is widespread also in Africa and the Caribbean. And nor will you have been told that mass deportations of this kind are par for the course in most parts of the world. You will have been indoctrinated into believing that this kind of thing is a white attitude, one espoused by the far right or supporters of Donald Trump. This is nonsense. It's common practice all over Africa and the Caribbean. Take the North African country of Tunisia. The Tunisians have a distinct ethnic identity, which is that of Arabs and Berbers. Many people from sub-Saharan Africa, black people that is, have been entering Tunisia in recent years, aiming to cross the Mediterranean to Europe. A lot of them, though, get stranded and they remain in Tunisia, sleeping rough on the beaches and so on. And this has the effect of increasing the proportion of black people in Tunis. The Tunisians do not like this, just like the Hungarians. They say that this is a menace to their national identity, to their ethnic identity. The solution for the Tunisians is simple. They round up as many black people as they can lay hands on and simply drive them into the desert and abandon them across the nearest border, which is usually that of Libya. The police also make life very unpleasant for black Africans who are sleeping rough on the beaches. I'm not endorsing or approving of the conduct of either the Tunisians or of the authorities in the Dominican Republic. I am pointing out, though, that many countries have very forthright approaches to illegal immigrants in any guise, including that of refugees and asylum seekers. We're often told that this or that Western nation has a racist attitude towards refugees, and that countries like Hungary are cruel and uncaring because they do not allow illegal immigrants to enter their country at will. But no liberal or left-winger would dream of citing a country such as Dominica. which behaves in a far worse way than any European country does in this respect. This is curious, and it suggests to me either hypocrisy or, what is worse, the existence of a hidden agenda behind the welcoming by progressive types of the many asylum seekers who are now entering European countries, including Britain and Ireland.